And we're back. I'm Paul Fabrizio.
And I'm Don Frazier. I'm professor of history. My colleague is professor of political science.
Should we introduce ourselves as political scientist Paul Fabrizio and historian Don Frazier? Nah. Okay.
I think we're done. Let's keep it informal.
Okay. By the way, I just want to show my koozie. It has a picture of the Capitol on it. Okay. Isn't that cool?
Designed by Jefferson Davis.
Designed by Jefferson Davis. There you go. Really?
Yeah, Jefferson Davis was the guy that helped engineer and design the redo of the Capitol.
The leader of the Confederacy?
Yeah, Jeff Davis was super American in the 1850s. And then all he does is lead, breakaway republic, and then nobody likes him anymore.
Well, that breakaway republic caused 600,000 casualties.
Oh, that's light.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably north of 700, maybe even 800.
Okay. By the way, I got this from the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C. I was there, and they have a gift store. What can you buy at a gift store? Koozies.
A koozie.
Yeah.
For when you say, hey, Bubba, hold my beer.
Yeah, exactly. All right. We are looking at the Constitution line by line, and here we are, Article 1, Section 5, Clause 4. Did you do it right? I'm reading whatever you're doing.
I had a hand jive.
Okay, here we go. Neither house during the session of Congress shall, without the consent of the other, adjourn for more than 3 days, nor to any other place than that in which the two houses shall be sitting.
So the house can't just decide, hey, you know what? We're just going to go take a 3-week vacay out in Hawaii. And you Senate guys, you fancy fellas, y'all just continue doing what you're doing. But send us a postcard.
That's right. Do people still send postcards?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't if I were you. No telling what people would make it say as it passes.
Yeah. Okay. Basically, it means that the House and the Senate must meet at the same place.
And during relatively the same time.
Yes.
They only allow a 3-day gap.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So in other words, they're in this together. I think about 9/11. And
yeah, because we've never had a catastrophic event that might put some of these clauses into action.
Right. But this actually came into play. 9/11, when the Twin Towers fell in New York, it was right near where the original Capitol was, where Congress originally met in New York City before they moved to Washington, D.C. So members of Congress decided, in honor and in respect for what New York went through, they would actually hold a session, a joint session of Congress in the original place.
Oh, wow.
And so they went back there to hold that session. Together, they did it. And I thought that was really cool.
That's classy.
And it was the first time since Washington, D.C. was built that Congress actually met in some other location. And that was New York City.
I didn't know that took place.
Yeah, it was very ceremonial, very symbolic, and it was just really, we want to show respect to New York City. So, other than that, I mean, this is...
How soon after 9/11 did that occur?
I don't remember. I just don't remember, and I apologize.
Well, you could smell the burning in the
ick
for many weeks afterwards, so they were probably within smelling distance if it was 6 months afterwards.
Yeah, I just don't remember when it was. But when I read that, that's the first thing I think about is, they meet together, they meet in Washington, D.C., but they one time decided they need to go and meet in New York City. And that was really cool. By the way, the committees that the House and the Senate have can meet any place.
Yeah, correct.
And
they could meet in Hawaii.
They could meet in Hawaii. There's been a couple of times when I've gone to committee hearings that have been at colleges I was at.
Really?
Yeah, and committee hearings are not the most exciting things. And so you take your students to go hear, the House Agriculture Committee.
Offer extra credit.
That's right. And within a couple minutes, the students are saying, can I leave? Can I leave?
My brain is full.
Yes. And I'm saying, can I leave too?
So that's interesting. So that's what pins them together, and that's what holds them in place.
Yes. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And an interesting thing to include, because I'm thinking of, what happens if half the Capitol gets, falls apart because of some natural catastrophe or artificial catastrophe. I mean, I've never really thought about what it would look like if Congress was split in two different locations.
Right.
And the framers understood, no. You can't have the Senate meet in Alexandria, Virginia, and the House of Representatives, all 10,000 strong, meeting in St. Louis.
Right. They have to be together, work together.
See, I worked in that 10,000.
Yes, you did. Yeah. Yes. And one other thing, adjourn for more than 3 days.
Yeah.
If you, during Christmas vacation, during Thanksgiving, whatever, you happen to turn on C-SPAN, they might show a pro forma session of the House or the Senate.
Sure.
And that is simply where they don't adjourn for more than 3 days. They come back, and what they do is they get a representative or a senator from Virginia or Maryland who can just drive into the Capitol building, get the staff together, call them into session, and then immediately call them out of session.
Yeah. So,
and
Charlie,
it's just
you got
a
the keys?
pro forma session.
Yeah.
And by the way, there's a reason for that, and we'll talk about this more later on. But the president has the power to appoint people during recesses of Congress.
Recess appointments.
And so Congress typically makes sure that it's never out for more than 3 days because of that. They want to make sure that the president isn't going around their back and appointing someone.
So that they're in the job for a month or two.
Or until the end of the congressional term. So it can
Yeah.
be a very long 18, 20-month assignment where someone could be operating. You conceivably, you can appoint someone to the Supreme Court in a recess appointment.
Yeah.
If you really want to do it. So this 3-day adjourn thing is really one of those little things that the leadership pays very close attention to.
Yeah.
By the way, one other thing is that both parties, not both parties, but both houses hire parliamentarians to make sure that they're following the rules and make sure that they use the rules for their benefit.
That makes perfect sense. Why have rules if you can't work them to your benefit?
Exactly. Okay, I think we've concluded. And
That's
by the
our
way,
line.
Not only is that our line, that is the section. That
Wow.
is Article 1, Section 5. Is that right?
Yeah.
Section 5, all complete. Woo!
Woohoo! So now we're rolling into Section 6.
Woo! Hold your breath.
All right, so we'll jump into Section 6 next time. Thanks for watching.